in Felix's home. Looks like, assume they agreed 18 all the way. I'm pretty sure it's an infinite. You can check in the match database there, I guess. And infinite only ran for like like 5 months, so it kind of narrows down the scope. Alright, so I believe Felix is a roller. Maedhros is a DAS player, question mark? I just assumed. Yeah, DAS player. But obviously they're in the same division, so you would assume they will be similarly skill level. Maedhros has been around for a long time, so has a lot of experience, matches, stacking, consistency, and like most rollers in TNP, I'm sure Felix probably isn't the most consistent player in the world, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Sometimes though, sometimes players get good really quickly though. The season goes for like 5 or 6 weeks. It can be a good idea to play the rollers at the beginning of the season. Just so that you have the best possible chance of not getting completely destroyed. But we'll see what happens. Felix still in contention for promotion. I believe if he wins all 4 sets, he will go up regardless. I think, well, plus an extra point, but more or less winning all the remaining 4 sets, he would have enough for conditional promotion. 50 points. Would actually have 49, but you know, that's if they were all deciders, and that's pretty unlikely, so... Maedhros with a hang of the long bar. This is going to be very difficult. Can get over it, but needs the long bar to come with a wall charge and couldn't get it together. And Felix is good for game number 1. Yeah, there's always a long bar right when it's too late. Yeah, increment to 8D. You increment the first 2 digits by 1, and then just do that for every game. Alright, both players are ready. Game 2. Maedhros will be looking to last a little bit longer this time around, as the warm-up is done, as Mart would say. I think Mart is also in this division, right? He's probably already played all of his matches. as is normally the case. We're waiting on Emo Kid. I think will be the only remaining matches after these two sets. Did restream Emo Kid earlier in the season against Maedhros. So yeah, obviously Maedhros is in this division. Yeah. But a new player, so you never quite know what to expect, but did play pretty well in those sets. And has had 2 losses since then against Peter, who won the division. Or probably hasn't mathematically won the division yet, but is getting promoted either way because has cleared the conditional promotion threshold. So even if Peter came in second, he would still promote to CTL, unless there's some crazy way that he comes in third. But I think because Emo Kid, Felix have to play each other, I think that's impossible. So yeah, we'll be seeing Peter the chair in CTL Division 5 in a couple of weeks' time. Early going here, or not that early, but Maedhros 239, Felix 159. Felix getting up high, but gets some good pieces, nice flat long bar burn. It's the well back open, and it's a Tetris. And another one. Decides not to take the burn with a J there. Just waiting for a tuck. Gets the tuck, because rollers can do this kind of thing. I would not take the risk with Das, but you can kind of wait a little bit longer when you're a roller. Get the no burn strats. And is closing the gap. 255 now for Felix. 269 for Maedhros. Maedhros behind in lines though, so gets a Tetris. And a little bit of complications on Felix's board here. Does sort of have things under control now though. Just gonna have to burn all of this away. Will allow Maedhros to build a bit of a lead. Maedhros now about 80,000 points ahead. Felix is getting pieces left and right pretty easily with the rolling. Still up very high on the board though, so still need to be careful. And 30 lines to transition, plenty of time to dig this down, but it's costing quite a bit of pace right now. It does have a max out, I believe, a 1.1 even. 19 max and a 1.1 from an 18 start, so definitely can play level 19 speeds. So it won't be too much of a concern, but Maedhros is 140,000 points ahead, gets another Tetris to go 165,000 points ahead now. Transition starting to approach for both players. 4 lines away now for Felix. Has been playing up higher on the board, so transitions at 344. Maedhros still has 13 lines to go. This board's got a little bit of cleaning up to do before transition. 344 was Felix's transition. We'll see, does Maedhros get the long way down?
your 8 game with the Galaxy A37 and A57 5G. Smooth gaming, awesome intelligence, nightography, and all-day battery. Get yours today.
Does for a Tetris in a transition 519. So what's that? About 175,000 point lead for Maedhros at transition. So he can afford to play it a little safe here. Of course, he is playing a roller, so you don't want to give them too much of a chance to come back into this. Pretty clean so far by Felix. Hasn't been getting a lot of Tetrises and does now have a hole in the stack. So see how he resolves this. Doesn't seem to have any issue with the 5 taps. The mechanics look really good. Most of the issues are just coming from a little bit of hesitation or stacking in general, but the mechanics look really solid from Felix. It's getting up a bit high here. It's taking the burns. Maedhros, meanwhile, is getting up high and is a DAS player, so he's going to top out at 634. Losing control there, so you have a chase down Felix. 635 is the target. Up a little high here, but definitely can still get out of this. And there's still enough runway, but obviously you don't want to be this high up the board for too long. And needs a long bar, it's a triple and gets the well back open, so 635 the target, and definitely enough runway. 200k from here is pretty achievable, and only needs 130. Not sure how much post ability Felix has, but it's probably more than a DAS player at least. But may not need it if the long bars come before then. 635 the target, so we'll need 2 more Tetrises. And had to take some burns. Board's kind of falling apart here. See if you can get anything to the left, but it wasn't a square. Badly timed piece, and Felix is done at 594. Just didn't get the right pieces on 28, and Maedhros will hang on. And this is TMP gold. This is scary. This is scary. At least we didn't see like a level 40. You've got to get to Div 5 to see the level 40s. At least for now. I'm sure some season coming there's going to be a level 40 in TMP. The rate things are going. Alright, game 3. I see Felix is also pushing down, apparently. I missed that. Only occasionally though. Is it kind of interesting? Oh, Felix getting up a little high here, but does sort of fill things in, and nice spin. Probably waiting for a square there, but Let's eventually get one. A complicated start here. And some interesting spins, and Tux gets a Tetris set up on row 3. Meanwhile, Maedhros has already hit a few Tetrises, 78,000 for Maedhros and 36 for Felix with the first Tetris. And is continuing to kind of push his luck a little bit here, but is getting away with it for now. Oh my goodness. RNG being a little kind to Felix at the moment, getting kind of every piece that he's setting up dependencies for. So he continues to build on row 3 here. Refusing to take any burns. Well, now has a perfect transfer possibility, but didn't come early enough. 138 now for Felix, 172 for Maedhros, gets another Tetris to go to 195, so decent early lead for Maedhros, and Felix's stack is not looking too good right now. Oh, interesting decision with a T. Has kind of got things a little bit under control here. Felix showed in the last game that he's more than capable of digging out of these sorts of situations here. Really good dirty here. I was thinking about it, but just a triple longbow came too early. But center well set up, and again the longbow didn't, became one piece too late. And looks like finally Felix is gonna drill back down to the bottom. 177. Meanwhile, Maedhros 334,000, so huge lead opened up all of a sudden, but Maedhros' board is not looking great, but nice tuck. Oh, the Z pieces really wasn't anywhere to put that Z piece, and Maedhros tops out at 337, so 338 is the target for Felix. Some dependencies, so probably going to have to dig this out once again. 338 is the target, so just over 100,000 points from here. Can get it done before transition, but doesn't need to, obviously. Didn't really look like topping out on 19 in the last game. Let's get the board cleaned up. 338 the target, now at 287. Does really like to build on top of garbage holes. This is traditionally what I refer to as Yanni stacking. Just building on top of miss drops to stay as efficient as possible. Goes into transition at 328. So another 10,000 points away here. Looks like going into line-out mode. It's really all Felix needs to do at this point. And there it is, 338. Felix takes game number 3 and goes up 2 games to 1. That is level. PB's 37.
Step up your 8 game with the Galaxy A37 and A57 5G. Smooth gaming, awesome intelligence, nightography, and all-day battery. Get yours today.
I mean, it's only going to be 37 for probably a month, probably less. The rate people improve these days. But you are good, Felix. Our players are ready. Maedhros was getting up a little higher there. We got the long bar before things spiraled out of control. 72,000, or now 95,000 for Maedhros. Felix with some burning to do yet again. Hasn't put a foot wrong so far when digging out of these situations, and once again gets the board clean. Oh, but hang there of the J is going to make things difficult here for Felix. Perhaps the first mechanical misdrop here we've seen from Felix, at least the first noticeable one. And just getting the number of taps wrong there. Is getting things back under control. I mean, there's definitely rollers in CTL already that have significantly worse mechanics than what we've seen from Felix so far. So it's probably only a matter of time before we see Felix in CTL, whether it's this season or the next one, or I don't know if Felix is in fast lane or not. Yeah, he just needs Stacky Pracky, exactly. It's same as K Lovelace, who was a different type of stacking problem, I guess. Was way too aggressive. But K Lovelace kind of not that aggressive anymore. Just kind of figured it out. And Felix not particularly aggressive, but does definitely like to build on top of rows of garbage. Oh, and a misdrop of the square there almost spelled disaster, but got the long bar and will get the board back under control. 205 for Felix, 349 for Maedhros. So once again, Maedhros with the pace lead, or stronger pace on 18. We'll just see if we can hold on to it and not top out early like he did in the last game. It's the one game Maedhros took is the one, I think the only one where we actually got to transitions, so definitely we'll be looking to do that again. Felix with the tucks. There's a bunch of bones here. Probably could have flipped the T the other way to speed up the down stack. But gets it down in the end, 276 for Felix, 412 for Maedhros. We're getting close to transition now. 10 lines away for Felix, 14 lines away for Maedhros. Maedhros with a bit of cleanup to do that long bar will help. Those S pieces will not help. And I'd like a long bar right about now. Decides not to burn down with the L piece. Ends up going into transition 436. And Felix 357. Felix with a bit of a dig to do here, but nothing too concerning. Decides not to set up dirty there, so I think that's something K. Lovelace would have done, which would have been too aggressive, so I think Felix's aggression definitely not as extreme. Maedhros hangs a long bar on the left, and DAS players cannot get over 8 left, so Maedhros is done at 446. 447 is the chase down target for Felix here. Nice tuck. And just waiting here for the right piece. Oh my god, the RNG is actually trolling, but does finally get it back open for the Tetris. And Felix will take the first set, 3-1. And that was a hell of an SC burst there at the end. That could have ended ugly. That would have ended ugly if a DAS player was attempting to do that, but the rolling does allow you to get a little bit higher on the left side, or more than a little bit higher. And all Maedhros can do is watch. I will report the first set. Assume we're doing set number 2 as well. So set 1, 3-1 to Felix. Felix was home. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely some Div 5 level gameplay from Felix, I feel already. It's quite consistently getting 600 Ks. Maedhros needed to get a 600k to take that game 2. Sure, we can do a new seed. Yeah, I mean, I think both players want to play 18. Alright, set 2. Away we go, and I guess with the 3-1 in the first set, Felix now just needs to win the 3 remaining sets to get promotion, as even 3 decider wins would be another 18 points. He's currently on 32, so that would take him to 50. So just needs to basically win the remaining 3 sets. 1 here against Maedhros, 2 against Emo Kid. And that would be enough for promotion to CTL. Of course, there are other ways, I guess. Could probably sweep. How else do you get 16 points? You could sweep 2 sets and then lose 1 in the decider. You could also do that. That would also be 16 points. Wait, 18 points. What am I talking about? Yeah, 18. But yeah, they are the 2 ways that Felix can get promoted. Maedhros, on the other hand, already has his survival sewn up before this set. He had 15 points, now at 16. The conditional relegation is below 15, so 15 is safe, and he has 16 anyway, so doesn't have to worry about that. Already won 2 sets. I guess probably starting to draw a bit thin in terms of promotion chance, or actually has no promotion chance now according to the standings. Can still get to 40 points, which would I mean, technically I think he still can get promoted, but it would be like some sort of mathematical miracle. It would require 3 sweeps and every result to go perfectly. But, you know, stranger things have happened. But obviously Emo Kid also has a chance at promotion as well, who is the last opponent Maedhros has to face. Emo Kid 2 and 2. Felix getting up a little bit high here, 178 for Felix, 214 for Maedhros. But setting up a line dependency here. Good decision with the S there to avoid the second line dependency. And Felix gets the board back down. There hasn't failed a dig as of yet. With the Tetris 233 for Felix, 285 for Maedhros. Maedhros getting up a little bit high here, Oh, we kind of didn't have Das on that T, I think. Kind of needed to go left with it, and tops out at 311. So 312 is the target for Felix. And we've seen him in this position already 3 times, I believe, and has, or 4 times, I think, and has chased it down in 3 of them. But the one he didn't chase down was it just ran out of runway. He's definitely not going to run out of runway this time. There's a long way to go. So he's just chipping away here at the advantage. Oh, didn't adjust the L piece there to get the wall back open, but take a few more bends. Is he doing this on purpose? I'm not sure. It's like it's deliberately lining out like Anjing would. Is this a disciple of Anjing? Yeah. Wait, no, sets up the Tetris. And there it is. Felix takes game number 1. Set number 2. Not a disciple of Anjing. Anjing would not have taken a Tetris. Anjing would have lined it out on 19. Maedhros, I have to lock back in here for game number 2. Hi Brett. I don't know if the rollers get tired, like tappers get tired. One of the advantages of being a DAS player is you don't really get tired. Only mentally, I guess. But, you know, maybe there's a, it's a small glimmer of hope. That Felix might, this level might drop at some point, but hasn't dropped yet. Is up a little high here, but getting the pieces over. Gets a Tetris. 47,000 for Felix, 49,000 for Maedhros. Definitely not as much as tappers, yeah. Probably 2 sets isn't long enough to get tired. I think it depends on the intensity, I guess. A bit of an issue here for Felix is having to make some compromises here in the down stack. Mostly making good decisions, but a hang there of the Z, good reaction with the spin, but isn't going to be enough, and Felix tops out at 80,000. And just like that, Maedhros is back and takes game number 2. Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. You get a couple of unfortunate pieces high up the board. But that's the risk, I guess, of building high. Oh, who did you play, Rance? Was that the one against Superstep or a different match? I saw like a little bit of that. Yeah, two players that definitely don't look like they belong in TMP Silver, and I'm sure they probably won't be there for very much longer. I mean, I guess technically you probably both already have high enough PB for automatic promotion regardless of where you finish this season. But I don't know, how is that division going? Look at silver, there's only one silver division at the moment. Rance and Superstep is in a bit of trouble actually in the division, but Rance is on track for conditional promotion, I think. Playoff match isn't reported yet. Oh, you mean conditional? Yeah, there's no playoffs in TMP. It's conditional based off points. Oh, what was the result against Superstep then? Oh, bit of a hesitation there by Felix. Didn't get the long bar to the left, but we'll get the next one comfortably. And down stacks, 150,000 for Felix, 147 for Maedhros, so neck and neck. Maedhros with a better stack though and gets a Tetris. Felix is drilling it down to the bottom. Misses the T-spin though, and that's going to be maybe not costly because builds a Tetris on row 2, but we'll see. We have been in this situation before where building off the bottom has not really paid off for Felix. But so far so good in this game. Maedhros also got out of a bit of a scary situation there. Gets the board back down. 245 for Maedhros, 225 for Felix. Felix still set up on row 2, gets another Tetris, but starting to get a bit complicated here, and didn't fill the line dependency there with the long bar. He's kind of lost track of how many dependencies he had, I think. He's going to have to burn this down little by little here. Maedhros, meanwhile, with a clean stack, is now 60,000 points ahead. And that lead will continue to grow here while Felix is in this dig. Maedhros hits another Tetris. And is taking full advantage of this window of opportunity here. Yeah, I mean, Felix has been really good with the down stacks so far. He's only really missed one of them across both sets. And yeah, that was the only game Maedhros won this set. The game last set went to kill screen. The game that Maedhros won last set, I mean. Felix getting the piece to the left there. Would like a square, can use the T, but we'll have to take some more bones. And oh my goodness, how high he gets the bar on the right side. A rather rapid, oh my goodness, To even think of putting the long bar up there actually blows my mind. I wasn't even considering that as an option. Even for a roller. Transitions at 290, still in the dig. Maedhros at 470 at transition, not in a dig. And Felix struggling here and hangs the long bar. Finally, the mechanics failed him, but it took until level 19 for it to happen, and Maedhros takes a 2-1 lead here in the set. And Maedhros, I guess, for him, probably on a pace here. I believe only has an 800k PP, so obviously any game like this is PBable. 836 is Maedhros' PB. Obviously, all that has to be done on 19, and if you have an 836 PB, it's largely due to 19, but it's going well so far. Sets up a line dependency. Good decisions here. Gets the piece over there. I legitimately thought it was over. With my dash control, it probably would have been over. Set up for the Tetris. Give the man the long bar. Oh no. Unfortunate. Hangs the Z there. Unlucky. Could have vaulted the Z potentially. Or maybe just rotated it back too soon. But GG nevertheless, and Maedhros up 2-1. That's the most important thing. There's Felix doing some... loosening up the fingers here for game number 4. Peak dash, yeah. And I guess crucial game here for Felix, as doesn't need to win this game to keep his chances of promotion alive. Can lose the set, but if he does lose the set, it would need to be in a decider in order to still have enough points for a theoretical conditional promotion. Obviously winning the set would be much better for Felix and would make his last 2 sets a lot easier, so he wouldn't need to sweep them. Maedhros, meanwhile, doesn't care about that, he just wants the win. And the longer the set's going on, the more it has tipped into Maedhros' favor. So maybe it is the fatigue. Maybe there is a little bit of that coming in now. There's a few mistakes that we didn't see earlier on from Felix. The misdrops. Oh, there's another misdrop with the S there. It's not any danger here, of course. 219 for Felix, 236 for Maedhros. Once again with the pace lead. A little bit of hang there for Maedhros, and now sort of line dependent. Does have a bit of time here, but does need to get it at some point, and does get the line. So should be able to get this back under control. But, that's the kind of board that can spiral out of control pretty quickly for a DAS player if the long bar doesn't come, because you can't really burn if the left is like that. And Felix once again in a bit of a dig here, but no danger. Gets the well back open for a Tetris. 279 for Felix, 300,000 for Maedhros, and doesn't really get the right piece there, and is going to have to take a few extra burns. Does get the Tetris set up though, and we'll slam down a dirty Tetris, row 2. This is where we saw Felix for the vast majority of several of the past games. Now Maedhros is the one building on row 2. Probably doesn't want to stay there though. It's just waiting for the right pieces, and there he is, burning it back down. Takes the triple, not wasting any time chasing dirty Tetrises, as I'm sure he's been there, done that, and it very rarely ends well, especially for DAS players. I mean, even if it ends well, usually the amount of extra burns that you do doesn't even make it worth it in the end, unless you're Alex T or something. Always, the pieces always just magically seem to be better. Maedhros still got the lead, 30,000 point lead. Board kind of sucks though. 20 lines to transition, so has time to figure this out, but another misdrop is going to make it really difficult. Needs a couple of long bars really quickly, and that left side, no, it's not looking good. Maedhros tops out at 438, and Felix is just a few burns away, gets it with a Tetris. Felix tying things up here in set number 2. We will be heading to a decider. Felix just flexing, but no long bar comes, so can't even show off the 5 tap there. Both players are ready. Oh, Maedhros. Oh my goodness. Gets the long bow just in time. Would like another one. Didn't come as soon as he would like. And Maedhros spiraling out of control here. Unfortunate ending to the set there. And Felix is good. Death players get tired too, yeah. Yeah, these back-to-back sets can be kind of brutal. It's probably a reason why people prefer the best of 7 single round robin divisions on the whole. Felix taking the second set, 3 games to 2. We'll get that reported. Now, there we go. And that moves Felix to 5-3, 38 points. So 12 points to go. Basically just needs to win the 2 sets remaining. As you got 6 points for a decider win. And that will be enough. And I guess anything else, and it will not be enough, and then it'll be up to